Hey all, welcome back for more Fatal 12. I am recording this pretty shortly after the last recording because I want to see what happens next. The audio keeps messing with me. I could have sworn I adjusted this so it wouldn't be a problem anymore, and it looks like it's still a little loud. Oh well. We'll take it as it goes. But yeah, last time we had our little finding our motivation moment again. We have mourned for Naomi for a good 5 days now. The little alliance team that has sprouted up around our number 9 has found out some information about 4, but we are still probably in a better position to do something about it, and really we should be the one voting him out anyway. But most importantly, we discovered our own regret, and that has motivated us to carry on. I still think there's going to be some sort of lesson, if not explicitly mentioned by Parka or someone, about overcoming your regrets and just learning to live and love life. Or maybe that's just going to be a big theme they pound into your head later on, but it certainly seems to be the theme. Sophia dealt with her regrets by traveling. Keiko, well, her baby got the name she wanted, even if it's not the way she intended, or even if she didn't think it was going to happen. Shigetsugu got his regrets resolved. 4 literally changed his regret. His regret card got annihilated. We found our regret, and we're moving through it. We're not entirely sure what Maharu's regret is yet explicitly, but I guess we'll find out. Other people's regrets are on the table. We know number 9's regret, because we have his card. I think someone else has someone else's regret card. I can't remember. But, yeah, that kind of seems to be the theme we're going with. But regardless, that's later. Right now, we need, in fact, if I go right to this screen, we'll see exactly what needs to happen. Electing you is a must. So dictates the orange text. So we have found our motivation to get Naomi back. We have had our little cry fest. Mal came by to cheer us up, which was sweet. But getting our own regret card was important. I really hope 12 doesn't twig to the fact that we have our regret card, because now that we have all of our personal cards, he's got reason to target us again, and that would be a bad thing. But regardless, I think we're going to see another election by the end of this recording, because I think it's a Thursday or a Friday. And, well, we need to figure out that regret. And again, Rink is in a better position to get that than the rest of them. They did find out what Yu's cause of death is. That is now common knowledge along with his name. The real question is, what is the regret card? Nobody has that right now. His elimination should undo Naomi's death, obviously. I wonder what's going to happen to this last week. Naomi's going to have these memories of going to school and stuff, and Maharu or me are just going to be like, oh, yeah, we closed up shop and didn't go to school and all this other stuff, and Naomi's going to be like, why? Because there was no bomb. But anyway, his entire attack on the school should be undone at that. Yeah, just like Psy'Min Sezz. As much as I don't want to remember the scene, his decision to kill with his own hands may have been for the sake of leaving that possibility open to me. Almost certainly. Had the explosion or fire been her cause of death, things may have been tweaked so that she ended up dying in an accident or something similar. He's made thorough preparations for me to kill him. Yeah, no kidding. The only issue is that I only have his name and cause of death since his regret card disappeared, which he should know. So if he wants us to get rid of him, he either needs to supply that, or as I theorized in an earlier video, he's going to intentionally make us earn it. I can't just eliminate him and leave it at that either. What secrets are hidden within the memories he regained? Why is he so desperate for me to elect him? I don't think there's anything deeper than what we've already discussed, but there might be. Only after I learn more about him do I plan to eliminate him. Not so I can sympathize with him like I have until now. He's the person responsible for taking Naomi's life. That fact won't change no matter what. Ding dong bing bong. I just noticed, is this thing picking up my face is moving around. Hang on a second. And we're back. I don't know what happened there. The VTuber Studio just locked up for some reason. It was running, just frozen. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing any movement. Anyway, I guess I had to do myself up in the mirror before we answer the door here. Just then the buzzer goes off again. Ooh, boy, this could be good, this could be bad, this could be anybody. It could be 4, it could be Maharu, it could be Alan, it could be anybody. We don't get customers around this time, so Mao must have left something here. I don't think it's Mao. Little do I know what is in store for me when I push the button for the speaker. It literally anybody. Could be Odette, God knows who. Well, what did I just say? Literally, what did I just say? Yo, doing good business here, are we? If only it would have been Mao. I don't have any patience for you right now. I said before that Odette, last video we were moving around, and when I say we, I mean Team 9, was doing stuff behind Odette's back with the intention of voting her off, and I made a point of saying Odette's not going to take that line down. She's going to do some other stuff. I think we've encountered the other stuff. Uh-oh. What's this going to be about? Instead, it's numeral 11. What the hell do you want? It is Friday. It is Friday evening. More frightened by the prospect of what will happen if I ignore her, I decide to let her in. She doesn't know about Maharu's alliance. I wouldn't be surprised if she busted the door down if I hadn't. Hey, she didn't bring her jacket. Not a bad little cafe you got here. She seems far more bulky up close than when I saw her at Shigetsugu's house. Oh yeah, we have seen her in person once before. Actually, no, we've seen her a couple of times because we ran into her around Shigetsugu's house. This is at least the 3rd time we've seen her. The extent to which she stands out in a cafe like this doesn't help. Yeah, we have a dress code, ma'am, if you could come back when you're fully clothed. Judging by how she hasn't assaulted me yet, I can only assume that she's got other business here. It'd only take a matter of seconds for her to render me helpless at this distance. That is the only silver lining here. That's a silver lining? You call that a silver lining? Ah, sorry, kid. Is this your bedtime? No. Heh. Been here 2 weeks since we saw each other in the real world. How you been? Why are you here? Aw, come on. Why's everyone got to be so vigilant around me? At least that Maharu girl's a bit more friendly. Maharu? Did you do something to her? Her having taken Maharu hostage is the first thing that pops into my head. That can't be it, though. We fooled everyone into thinking we'd had a falling out with our little exchange in the Court of Fate. Oh, you think you fooled everyone. Alan figured it out very quickly. It wouldn't surprise me if Odette didn't believe it for an instant. There we go. Aha! Guess you two are still buddies after all. Doesn't seem like you know what she's been up to, judging by your reaction, though. Can't blame you. Most people would be crushed if their underclassman friend died. You don't look like a broken person, though. I'll assume you've gotten over it. Alan says she's the type of person to reach conclusions through situational evidence. He was dead on. Basically just means she's intuitive, and she is. She was able to snatch the answers from me just by talking and then judging my reactions. It doesn't help that I'm feeling pressured by her. Sitting upright in situations like this makes one seem more confident. That's what my gran always used to say. I'll ask one more time. Did you do something to Maharu? That's the spirit. I ain't interested in talking to people who are shaking in their boots. Let me ask you then. Do you think that gal's weak enough to let such a thing happen? Not at all. She's far stronger and resolute than I could ever be. Haha. Good answer, kid. I'm Odette Malencon. We're coming right out with the name again. Here's hoping that admission's enough to ease the tension. That said, my card book begins to glow. What's the play here, Odette? She's got to know that people are doing things behind her back, but why come to us about it? What's this play? Eventually, the light takes the form of her name card. Why would you... I'm only here to talk things out with you. Giving you my name doesn't put me at any disadvantage. Besides, I can tell you don't have any of my cards yet based on how frightened you were before. That being the case, giving you my name seems like a good way to establish some trust, yeah? I don't plan on telling you mine. What? She's going to give it to us. She's going to tell us what our name is. No need to worry about that, Shishimai Rinka. What did I just say? Don't underestimate Odette. Though you probably figured I knew it by now, considering I found this place. That too. And it's just as she says. In fact, it'd be odd for someone not to find out my name along with Lionhouse. Well, it's clear that you're not here to raid the place like you did Shigetsugu's home. Hey, that's what I've been trying to say all along. Let me put it like this. I'm here to help you. You're here to help me? I'm sorry, but jokes don't suit you. No need to be so reserved. You might want to eliminate you, but right now, you don't have the means. Let me explain from the top. Mind getting me some coffee? Odette takes a seat at one of the tables without giving me so much as a glance. I don't think I've got any other options, so I make some for both of us. Are we going to see Odette sitting at the table with us? Oh, look at that. There's a scene. Boy, our patrons are getting a lot less friendly lately. Oh, man, tastes pretty damn good. You're working pretty hard despite your age, huh? That's what I like to see. She stands and stretches after tasting her coffee. She strikes me as the type who would voraciously devour meat and chug down any sort of alcohol, but to my surprise, she's able to discern the type of beans and roasting method I use. After that, we discuss things while drinking our coffee. What do you have to discuss? The first thing she tells me is regarding you. He's part of a terrorist organization in Japan and was originally meant to carry out an attack on the Yamanote line. That just so happens to be the attack Naomi and myself got caught up in. They don't seem to be aware of my cause of death, though. Next up is Maharu. Not only has she met with Odette, but she's even formed an alliance with her, Frederico, and Numeral 9, whose name seems to be ridiculous. Their ultimate objective is to eliminate Alan. I'm not quite sure if he's an inherently bad person after having spoken to him personally, but his status as a major player in Divine Selection can't be denied. But what surprises me most is learning that Maharu has convinced them to target you first. Her goal is the same as mine, then. She wants to save Naomi. It's hard not to tie what happened at Amaka to Divine Selection, all things considered. Not only is you the culprit, but it's a school both myself and Maharu attend. I'm the only one who knows that Yu's doing this to make me elect him, but they interpreted it as his attempt to provoke the other participants. So Maharu's cooperating with you. The whole reason Scale approached Maharu was because of your supposed falling out. While it wasn't enough to fool me... Haha, what did I keep saying? I ain't gonna underestimate Odette. It was a solid plan. Both him and that dumbass Federico ate it up. None of that explains why she's here, though. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. In fact, it makes even less sense now that I know they're cooperating. It ain't just Alan they'll be targeting once Yu's gone. All three of them are gonna come right after me. Maharu wouldn't do... I was gonna say she wouldn't deceive someone like that, but I couldn't finish that sentence. Maharu's strength of will is rock solid. She wouldn't betray someone solely for her own gain, though. But for you... Which means it's either for Naomi's sake or mine. That much is easy to figure out. Of course. Chances are she's already aware that I've figured them out. Like I said, though, they probably won't go after me until they've both eliminated you and gotten close enough to gather all of Alan's cards. No way that lot would underestimate what I'm capable of, after all. The sheer confidence she has in herself isn't something I'd ever dispute. It's not my place to make this comparison, but she's probably the only person who can compare to Alan out of all the participants, assuming we judge purely on strength of character. I mean, both of them are pretty much in a class by themselves, yeah. None of what she says thus far explains why she came to see me, though. Yeah, Rinka is just waiting for this, why are you here? You're paying for that coffee, you know that, right? Squaring off with them after we eliminate you is just a bit too predictable, though. I want to get more of a thrill out of it. Oh, you're here to mix it up. Of course you are. How does your excitement fit into all of this? Think about it. Life's all about the thrill and excitement, ain't it? You'd be better off dead if it weren't. Is this going to tie into her regret? She regrets not doing something that would have just made life more exciting. I'm kind of flashing back to that one episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where Picard goes back in time and undoes something reckless he did, and then his life is just boring. It's one of the Q episodes. I feel like Odette's got something like that in her past. There's a risk she didn't take, and now she regrets not taking it because life would have been more exciting. I feel like she has a pretty exciting life already, though. I don't quite get where you're coming from. Yeah, I ain't worried about whether or not you get it. Anyway, if things are gonna go down, then you can be damn sure I'll be the one double-crossing them. A bold smile accompanies her proclamation. Would you mind explaining what you meant about helping me? Just like it sounds, kid. You want to eliminate you so that your underclassmate's death gets undone, but you don't got the means to do so. Don't know why you'd get this bothered over one insignificant life, but... How dare you! Yep. You're giving her the reactions that she wants, Rinka. Come on. Don't let Odette play you like this. How dare you! Naomi's life isn't insignificant to me. I messed up by saying that. You sure did. I don't regret it, though. I won't let anyone get away with saying that about Naomi. I don't even bother to say anything else after that. I just glare at her. Oh, atta girl! I was ready to shove off if you let me get away with that. Odette just keeps saying this when people shout at her or say things. It's like, oh, I would've just walked out on you or double-crossed you or whatever if you hadn't said that. It just seems like her go-to conversation point. Keep up the attitude while you're at it. I ain't one for polite chit-chat. Are you testing me? Yep. Got a problem? I said I was here to help you, but I didn't want to offer my services for free. That's why I tested you, to see if it's even worth presenting you with a choice. That kid and the remnants of Null's Japan branch are planning another attack tomorrow. Oh, are they? Okay, that is news. Oh, does that tie into Divine Selection as well? Because it's going to be a Saturday. Naomi was also killed on a Saturday. In fact, she was killed the previous Saturday. And it's always the day before Divine Selection, too. Because Divine Selection is Sunday. They want to have things end with a bang, which is why they're targeting Tokyo Tower. Okay, that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with us. We'll see if you cares, but whatever. No way. They've already put the plan into motion. I've heard talks of suspicious trades involving gas and ammonium nitrate, which just so happens to be what's needed to make bombs. Ammonium nitrate is generally used for fertilizer, but only pros are allowed to handle it. Even if they plan things out well, they can't cover their tracks completely. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it seems like a thermite reaction is caused by the iron oxide and aluminum powder packed into the bombs. Not only will the blast be powerful, it'll also spread fire everywhere. Where have we seen that before? Fire bombs, basically. Probably the same type that you used when you blew up the train, as well as Amaka. Chances are they're going to go wild, considering the circumstances. Who knows how many people will die if Tokyo Tower blows up on a weekend. Even worse, you won't die since he's a participant. I can't believe that lame joke I made about you going around just bombing things because he's immune to bombs is actually coming true. That is absurd. I am both proud and ashamed of myself simultaneously. Perpetrators usually die alongside everyone else, but he'll live on and keep pulling crap like that. He's not a suicide bomber. He gets to just keep going. We can't let that happen. We have to stop them. You're a kind sort, huh? Thing is, I don't really give a damn about how many people die. The sheer disgust I feel over that admission causes me to glare at her again. She raises her finger and thrusts it in front of my mouth before I can say anything, though. But, on the other hand, stopping some pansy terrorists ain't no thing for me. The fact that she can make a statement like that sound believable is part of what makes her so impressive. Aren't we better off letting the police deal with this? Only people like us are aware of the whole thing. Ain't no outlaw who wants to get themselves involved with the police. I'm not an outlaw, I could do it. Of course, they would ask me how I know. What's more, they'd only benefit from it in the end. All those features and news articles are going to turn into hard cash. Most importantly, there's a kid involved who can go around blowing himself up while random coincidences somehow keep him alive. The police would get a pretty bad reputation from that. She's probably right. There's no way anyone would swallow the idea that he can't die because he's a participant in Divine Selection. He's literally got a protective parka. They're just as likely to have more than just bombs at their disposal, so who knows how many casualties would result. Considering I've got Scale, Federico, and kinda sorta Maharu gunning for me, I'd rather get this done and dusted quick. You don't need me to explain the rest, do you? You'd better. I'll stop the terrorists and give you an opportunity to make contact with you. The old fart let you into his home, and I know you spoke to you after his elimination. You should be able to make him spill his regret. Eliminate him and save both your underclassmen and the masses. Just don't forget that we're making a deal. I want your cards in exchange, both your cause of death and regret. Oh, piss. Uh-oh. Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. So, Odette is holding all these people hostage now in exchange for our life. That's rough. So, we have the option of saving Naomi and getting a regret card and saving all these people and doing the right thing, but we have to give our own life as part of that package deal. We have to sacrifice ourselves. I'm not sure what Odette would do. Like, this doesn't save Odette. So maybe You know what's interesting is Odette's place on the clock, because if she gets voted out, if someone ahead of her, because all these people that are conniving against her are ahead of her, if Miharu, Federico, or Scale tries to elect her out, she can just be like, look, if you guys vote me out, I'm just letting you know, I'm taking Rinka with me. So maybe Odette does get our cards, but she holds it over her head and saying, if anybody votes me out, I mean, the only person that can vote Odette out at that point is Alan. Because he's the only person that's after her on the clock. I wonder if that's the deal. I wonder if we actually will give Odette our cards. And if we give Odette our cards, then nobody can vote her out. Miharu certainly won't. But there can also only be one, so... Ooh, that's interesting. That's spicy. I want them the moment you get use info, too. In other words, both you and him get eliminated during the same election. Oh, no, so she's just going to boot us out. So she's not going to hold us hostage. She's just making a trade. You get you killed. You save the people in Tokyo Tower. More importantly, you save Naomi. But you're out. As... in exchange. I guarantee it won't affect your dead friend either. She'll be safe, even after your elimination. Fate will run its original course with both myself and you eliminated. It makes sense. My elimination would result in Naomi witnessing my death. That's how things went originally. Odette probably doesn't know that much, but her words hit me hard. Ooh, this is a tough deal. So what'll it be? Go with me and guarantee that you save your friend's life, or try to pull through on your own. Oh, fuck this. Okay. Remember how before I was saying decisions, choices that are going to matter haven't come up yet? I think this one matters. I believe in Rinka. I believe she can figure out the regret card without Odette. I don't want to accept her conditions. Because accepting her conditions, we're gone. We're gone next election. Unless we don't get used card, which doesn't seem likely. And if we don't get used card, then, I mean... What if the crew votes her out? I mean, it's not like we can trust Odette. Odette, like, I trust Odette as far as I can throw her. And look at her. You're not throwing her. I can't accept this. Also, Miharu would hate us. For all that she's done for us, going to bat for us, willing to give her life for us, and we're just like, yeah, we're quitting. See ya. We literally just got our will to live. I don't buy this. We're saying turn her down. Oh, there's a picture. Like hell, I'd accept that. Oh boy. Oh, are you gonna find some other way to convince us? Oh boy. You've been talking down to me this entire time. I know you're hiding something. You can't eliminate you on your own. You know Miharu and the others won't be able to learn his regret either. You said you were here to help me, but that's a lie. We're both on equal footing. I'd be helping you as well. So you ain't concerned about your dead pal? Are you deaf? I said as well for a reason. Eliminating you, bringing back my friend, and preventing innocent people from getting caught up in a terrorist attack? You're the one who's going to help me accomplish it. There's a certain ferocity behind each and every one of my words. I mean everything I've said to her. Mainly because I know. Rather, she's given me the hints. Her actions are determined by the thrill they bring her. She believes that you're better off dead if you can't enjoy life. I'll let her have her fun. Accepting her conditions would only deprive her of that. Heh, perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you just say that every time someone says something to you. This is how she buys time while she thinks. She just acts like she's always in the catbird seat. Oh, you ordered that coffee, that coffee black? Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. You're going to bed at 9 o'clock tonight? That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Your favorite color is blue? Anyway. Sure, I'm paying a hefty price for that coffee, but whatever. Let's do this. Her actions aren't determined by logic. That's what matters here. Okay, I feel like I made the right choice there. I feel like we're on track for whatever good ending exists in this game. If I had made the other decision, I feel like it would have just ended early, and we would have gotten an early bad ending. I have made my decision, but I haven't quite been able to calm myself down. I don't think we're going to hit an election before the end of this stream, though, because we get... If there's a terrorist attack coming up, that's going to... I mean, let's see how that goes. Odette wants to take me along to her base of operations so we can start to make our preparations. She says it'll take about 2 hours by car to get there. I don't know about that. She's apparently got one ready for us. Goes without saying that it can't be traced back to her either. Oh! Looking sharp. Stylish. I'm exhausted. Hard not to believe after everything that's happened today. In an ideal world, I'd get to dive into bed, but I don't have that luxury right now. We'll both be up all night once we get to wherever she's taking me. Why do I need to go? Is Tokyo Tower a long way away? Why do we need to go to a base of operations? We have plenty of planning to do we? Maybe this will be a little more involved than I thought. Honestly, it's amazing how far from reality this all feels. My mind flashes back to my exchange with Odette as I pack a change of clothes and my phone charger. I guess at the very least we know we can't get hurt, so even if there is a terrorist attack, we're just as likely to survive the bomb as you is. It started to settle in. I'm working with her now. Boy, I'm still not sure how wise this is, but we'll see. In all honesty, it's reassuring. Surely you've put some thought to use regret. It's got to be something general, like I've already come up with. If it's something wildly specific, then okay. We'll see what it is. I'll reserve judgment until we find out how hard it is to actually get the card. I didn't think highly of her after hearing about how she took Sonia's parents hostage, but she doesn't seem all that bad now that I've spoken to her in person. I mean, she's just a wild card. That said, there are aspects of her I don't understand. Why would she reveal her name to me without demanding anything in return? Surely that puts her at a disadvantage. There's probably no point in thinking about it. I mean, her name didn't really lead to much. Plus, I mean, she's already on the back foot with all these other people gunning for her anyway. Scale knows her cause of death from the sound of it. Scale or Federico, one of the two. And if not, they could probably figure out between the two of them. So giving up her name to some random high school girl probably doesn't matter much. It's a low-risk offer. She's the sort of person who'd blow your expectations out of the water if you try to think too hard. In that case, I'm better off going with the flow. As usual, putting a lid on my thoughts is the best option. One small and important detail is different this time around, though. No matter what, I'll... You done yet? Odette's just waiting. Odette shouts at me from downstairs. She must be tired of waiting. Telling her I'll be right down, I make my way toward the stairs. What were you about to say? Let's get moving, then. The blue car is parked outside. I guarantee she's got more respect for Rinka than she's got for Federico, though. Federico wouldn't talk back to her like that. He'd hide under the table. It has a nice coat of polish. Definitely not the kind of car you see around the city. Yep, a bona fide luxury car. Where'd you steal it? The driver's seat is even on the right-hand side, so it must be foreign. There's no way we won't stand out in a car like this. Does Odette look like she's used to being covert? So, who's driving? Relax. Cars ain't no thing when you're used to steering boats. Why are you offering that? Which side of the road do you drive on here? The right? The left! I know she's joking, but I still shout my response. It's hard not to when you know you're about to be her passenger. I mean, you guys are invincible. It's okay. Little do I know that her driving would turn out to be even more atrocious than expected, leading a grueling 2-hour journey. That's another word you guys missed. It's just a little 2. Just slip it in. This is your base of operations? Yeah. And me. Yeah. You better toughen up. I never thought someone else's driving could make me feel exhausted. I am mentally spent as it is, but now my body's drained as well. No doubt intentional. Doesn't help that I'm normally getting ready for bed around now. Thanks to all that, I don't even have it in me to answer her. Again, exactly what are we contributing to this? I guess we're going to be the ones talking to you, but why do we need to plan? Odette's much more suited to this side of things than we are. Like, just go to bed. Give her a phone call tomorrow, let her know what's up. Anyway, this place has been abandoned ever since some delivery company that was using it went belly up. We arrive at an empty warehouse on the outskirts of town near the shore. The road signs we passed said we were going toward Yokohama, so I estimate we're somewhere around there. As Odette said, this place really does look abandoned. Well, that's because it is. Rusted metal and broken windows are its defining features. I'm not sure if desolate is the right word to use here or not. Ain't nothing left from when it was in use, so yeah, who knows? Maybe all the pent-up grudges of the former workers turned into something sinister. Don't say stuff like that. Yeah, you're gonna freak out the poor Japanese girl. You know I'm joking, right? Ain't no such thing as ghosts. I have a feeling Rinka would believe in ghosts more than Odette would. Yeah, you're still kind of superstitious. I don't believe in ghosts either. It's just that the atmosphere here creeps me out. Federico? I mean, if this is your base of operation, it would make sense for Federico to be aware of it too. That sounded like his voice, a little bit, maybe. I'm always talking over him, so it's hard to say. What? A sudden voice calls out from the darkness and causes me to tense up. Not due to my imagination running wild, but because the voice is familiar to me. I mean, there's only one male voice. It certainly wouldn't be Alan. It certainly wouldn't be you. Never mind. I'm a dumbass. Why are you here? Did you... Oh, Odette, you absolute chaos bringer. Did you go to Alan and make an alliance with him as well? What? It's Alan Scorpion. His figure becomes more clear as my eyes adjust to the darkness. Did he just happen to be using the same place as Odette? That seems unlikely. Odds of that seem awfully low. Yo, I brought her with me. You sure took your time. Okay, so Alan was expecting her. It doesn't take long before my doubts are cleared up. Are you two allies? Not at all. It's a temporary alliance, just like you and me. Well, more like you, me, and him, I guess. You fine with that? If not, you got a long walk. Alan's even more expressionless than usual, whereas Odette has a big grin on her face. These are the two people that I fear most in Divine Selection. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the group really does want you out, because we are basically rallying around getting rid of him. Who would have thought that I'd be in the room with these two? Also, these two are fighting at Shigetsugu's, so... Good lord. We're all over the place in this game. I never would have expected them to team up, let alone that I would not end up a part of that team. Maharu, we're going to have some serious explaining to do the next time we talk. Nervous doesn't even begin to describe how I feel. I'm on the verge of throwing up. But there's an odd sense of relief mixed in me, too. I mean, look at these two teams. There's Odette's on both of them. And they're both gunning for you. And everyone but you is on one of the two teams. But there's an odd sense of relief mixed in me, too. Describing it as a sort of animalistic instinct may be appropriate. There are no better people to team up with than these two. That much is a fact. I mean, you're not wrong. Here's some, I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but Rinka... I think I mentioned it. Rinka better hope that Alan doesn't get a whiff of the fact that she's got her personal cards now, because that was the reason he wasn't targeting her. If he finds out that she's got her regret and cause of death cards, she is toast. I'm fine with it, but I'd appreciate an explanation first. It's nothing complicated. We're pretty keen on when others are gunning for us, is all. I'm aware of numeral 9's plan to eliminate me. Yeah, because Odette would just come out and tell you. The enemy of my enemy is my friend may be the easiest way to describe the situation. We could go straight for dumbass Federico, but that'd be a bit boring. Yeah, again... I feel like she's going to vote him out, but the only reason she's not voting him out is because it's predictable. Simon's not going to predict anything Odette's going to do. Odette's insane. Instead, let's get rid of numeral 4. Ain't nothing more interesting than taking their prey out from under them. I figured it would be something like that. So I was curious if we were going to get to them before the other team, but it turns out Odette just wants to do it before the other team just because it's fun. Just to flip the middle bird at scale. There's no way those two would work together otherwise. Maharu's likely included with the people Odette's referring to. Yep. While that does bother me, it's safe to assume Odette won't go near her before you is illuminated. I still haven't thought about what to do once I accomplish that. Ideally, I'll have the opportunity to talk things out with Maharu as soon as possible. I need to be careful about that, though. The others are only cooperating with her because they're under the impression that we're no longer friends. Again, you've only fooled a couple of people with that. I mean, how many people have you actually fooled? You didn't fool Alan, you didn't fool Odette. They figured it out. Federico doesn't think so. Scale doesn't think so, but they're stupid. I turned to face Alan. Does he know the conditions that Odette presented me with? Probably not. Why me, of all people? I'm aware of your ties to numeral 4. If anyone can find out his regret, it's you. Our interests align in that regard. As usual, I can't figure out his true motives. He was gunning for 4 himself. He tried to get his regret card, and that's what made it explode. Before, he mentioned wanting to see how far my mindset could take me. Is he using this as an opportunity to judge that? Let's cut the crap and get to it. You bring the goods? Indeed. That said, he carries a number of sturdy cases over to us. Odette proceeds to open them with a wide grin on her face. Inside are handguns. Delightful. I assume the differing shapes mean they're all different makes. There are 3 in total. Uh-oh. An M500 revolver, a Beretta, and a Tokarev. You sure got some good pieces here. Wait, this Tokarev's a knockoff, isn't it? Don't complain. Getting 3 guns into this country was hard enough. Are these real? Want to give one a spin? We're in an extraterritorial area right now, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. That's not what I meant. They honestly don't look much different from the replicas I've seen before. That makes it hard for me to process that I'm looking at real firearms, weapons used to take other people's lives. Again, how useful are these for us? We can literally walk into a bomb and just walk out again. And at the same time, part of me avoids touching them on instinct. We're going up against a terrorist organization, kid. Ain't no one got to do that without weapons. Again, we're in special circumstances here. These are for self-defense. We don't have enough ammunition to engage them in a firefight. I figured you weren't some run-of-the-mill dude, but now I'm real curious about your background, Mr. CEO. Oh well, not like they're going to be properly equipped either. Wouldn't be fixing up homemade bombs if they were. I'll take the revolver. Always wanted to try one of these babies. Besides, it's not like she'd be able to handle it. What are we going to get that we're going to be able to handle? Or is one of them going to take 2? Hold on, what are you implying there? There being 3 guns is already suspicious enough. Odette just claimed one for herself, though, which means... The Beretta 92 is the most balanced out of these, so I surmise you will be sufficiently skilled with it. I'll teach you how to use it. Wait a minute! I'll turn into a criminal if I use one of these! Odette stares at me in astonishment as I panic. Getting a gun doesn't make you happy? Getting a gun don't make you... Odette's just like, I don't understand. I just gave you the best present ever. What's the problem? I don't understand. No one's forcing you to use it, but you are better off keeping one on you. You'll be in a much better position against unarmed people with it. It's going to get taken from you so fast. Number 4 is just going to pull it right out of your pocket before you know what's going on, fire a bunch of people in the head and be like, hey, thanks. Give me a break, kid. We ain't talking things out peacefully tomorrow. It's going to get real nasty, real quick. Her sharp glance shoots straight through me. It's the same look she gave me in the Court of Fate, the look of a predator ready to strike its prey. All it does is remind me of you. Not you, you. Of the classroom draped in fire. Of the deafening explosions. She's right. We're beyond the point of no return. I've already gone through all sorts of experiences that no regular person ever will. Like he said, no one's going to make you use it. I'll even empty the magazine for it if you want. No, this is fine. Teach me how to use it properly in exchange, though. I don't want to fire it by accident. That's better. Well, start by picking it up. Guns may be allowed where they're from, but this is Japan. The very concept of them is foreign for most people. I take hold of the jet black pistol in order to make good on my resolution. And now I've officially broken the law. It's a lot heavier than expected. Just over 2 pounds, I'd estimate. You see people use these with one hand in movies and stuff all the time, but it's hard to hold it steady like that. Using both hands helps somewhat. But at the same time, it feels far too light when I consider that they can take someone's life. Bear in mind the recoil upon firing. Based on your weight and strength, I doubt you'll be able to aim properly. I suppose that's not an issue, though. You should be able to bluff your way through, so long as you know the proper stance and posture when brandishing it. I guess that's the main thing. We'll teach you that later, but for now, Odette, we need to hear from you. About how to stop you and the terrorists, I assume? Indeed. But before that, though, there's no need for formal language with me, Rinka. We're equals here. Right. Bit of an odd thing to be particular about, but whatever. I have no reason to say no. All of this is based on info from Scale, but it should be reliable. He ain't got no reason to lie about stuff particular to you. First up is their objective. I wonder if the other team is going to be doing something to try to stop this as well. If we're both doing it at the same time, again, that just seems like something ODDER would do. Let's just have two people with totally separate plans go on in there to stop a terrorist attack, and, you know, if they step on each other's toes, whatever, probably entertaining. I've heard that terrorism is mainly used to establish political agendas. Null's Japan branch was formed by people influenced by a foreign organization, though, so I don't know anything about their motives. They want to fight the general indifference plaguing this country. I'm not sure I get that. Alan is the one to give me an answer. They probably think this country cares little about what goes on in the rest of the world. I find myself in agreement with that sentiment from time to time. War, poverty, illness, the world is overrun with all of these. Japan, by contrast, is both safe and prosperous. Its people are largely unaware of the struggles faced by others elsewhere. Sure, it ain't just envy making them run wild. Not like anything will change just by blowing themselves up. Terrorists exist precisely because they don't agree with your claim. I hardly sympathize with them myself. Well, the important part is that they've deluded themselves into thinking people will pay attention if they blow stuff up. Fighting against the population's indifference, huh? I doubt I would have paid attention to what's going on in the world without divine selection, mainly because my own death was tied directly to the suffering people from other parts of the world. They're hurting others for their own selfish beliefs. Yep, that's why we're going to be just as selfish and interfere. Fair's fair. Scale keeps going on about justice and crap, but that ain't got nothing to do with us. Are we being selfish, though? We're preventing innocent people from getting hurt, so... Sorry, but I told you before that I don't give a damn about how many people kick the bucket. Same way you'd be more upset over your friend dying than if a bunch of people halfway around the world get blown up. Humans ain't built to care about everyone. Our world only exists as far as the people we know. That's why it's fine not to give a damn. Their desire is not realistically attainable. I wonder if you join them for the same reason. He likely agreed with them to an extent, although I cannot say for sure how much. You're the one who's going to get all that out of him, Rinka. Once done with that topic, ODDER continues with her explanation of their plan. They're likely to carry it out using the same type of explosives as those used at Amaka. How many will there be? He didn't know, but chances are there'll be more than one location. The plan will probably involve targeting a few places at once. No way. ODDER said earlier that they would want to go out with a bang. There's no doubt it would be devastating if their plan goes off without a hitch. Tokyo Tower is located in the Minato Ward, which is also home to other important places like the Imperial Palace and National Diet Building. They'll be the center of Japan's attention if they target a place like that. Plenty of tourists have been visiting there ever since the Skytree got built. The entire world will have no choice but to take notice once tourists become victims, at which point they'll be able to spread their message. They might have factored all that into their plan. We're best off focusing on Tokyo Tower and leaving the rest to the police. Didn't you tell me we shouldn't get them involved? I only meant in respect to you. If the journos know this much already, then the police should already have a rough idea what they're planning. Security is tight around that area. They won't just sit back and let terrorists have their way, so we should leave it to them to deal with non-participants. Ironic as it is, our previous deaths will keep us safe no matter what we do. Yep, pretty much. Do you think they'll try to use the other attacks as a diversion? No doubt about it. We're the only ones who know about you, and he'll probably get past security by using a disguise. Because he's good at that. Let's assume the police have gotten wind of their plan. I'm pretty sure they would have security carry out bag searches around places like Tokyo Tower. Letting you get close is all he needs. Once there, he can neutralize the security detail and get far enough to blow himself up. His explanation helped me realize what they're implying. Security teams probably aren't trained in hand-to-hand combat. They won't stand a chance against you. Based on what Shigetsugu told me, even a group of adults wouldn't be enough to stop him. He isn't considered the consequences of his actions either. He isn't considering the consequences of his actions either. Got that one messed up. All he's concerned about is setting things off and then disappearing. Yu's the only one we're concerned with. Yep, well, him and anyone else with him. What's the most well-known part of Tokyo Tower? I've never been. The observatories are probably the most famous spots. There are always lots of people at them. I'm pretty sure it has two observatories. The standard observatory at 500 feet and the special observatory at 800 feet. Since there's an extra fee to access the special one, you'll find the most people at the regular one. The staff conducts bag checks just before you make your way up to them, too. Those make for rather symbolic spots. People are attached to the view of the world they see in their daily lives. These spots serve as something of a window to a different reality, despite the fact that it's still the same world. Quite the poet, ain't ya? Maybe you'd make a good terrorist after all. As if. Alan brushes off her quip without effort. People are aiming to bomb one of Tokyo Tower's observatories. I know this is happening for a fact, but it somehow doesn't feel real. Perhaps it's no surprise when even handling a gun fails to give me a reality check. One thing I can say for sure, though, is that we can't let this happen. Countless innocent people are going to die if we do. Whether children or adults, Japanese or foreign, they'll all die in an unfair death. I have a feeling the bombs are going to go off anyway, because we do need to vote off you, and hopefully that means the attack doesn't happen. I can sympathize with the organization if they simply strove to make people take notice of what's going on in the world. There's no justice in spreading your message at the expense of other people's lives, though. Absolutely none. I wouldn't even describe their actions as cruel. What Yu's done so far, not to mention what he's planning on doing, all of it is pure, unbridled brutality. I can't help but grit my teeth in disgust. Naomi lost her life to such brutality. Does that mean I'm trying to mete out justice? Or am I merely bound by a sense of duty? Neither. I'll bring Naomi back and prevent him from hurting anyone else. I am fueled by sheer determination. Nothing else. I'm trying to find an Undertale joke. I can't do it. I look forward to where this leads you. Following that, we begin to discuss our plan for tomorrow. Technically, all I contribute is a few nods to show I'm listening, but the more concrete their plan gets, the more nervous I become. How Maharu and Scale act in the face of all this has me most curious. Odette says they probably figured out that she double-crossed them, but that they also won't think much of it. Maharu's personal motives aside, their main goal is to eliminate Adam and Odette. Or Alan and Odette. I was playing Metroid Fusion earlier, and I kept calling the computer Adam because of stuff in that game that you may or may not be aware of, and I think the word Adam is still stuck in my mouth. Even if they don't manage to elect you themselves, they won't run the risk of having any of their cards exposed. Odette and Alan probably feel the same, considering they're allowing me the right to elect you. Are they? Well, I guess they're making me get his regret card. They're probably assuming I won't hand it over, I'll just use it. It's not like I won't use it. I have the most to gain from taking you out. I know you the most out of everyone, so I can agree with that choice. The rest is up to me. My only choice is to get his regret out of him. Although anxious, part of me feels good about this being something only I can do. I want to die by your hands. Yeah, he said I want to die by your hands, but he also said he wouldn't die easy, so I still think getting his regret card is going to be take a little bit of effort. His words are akin to a curse for me. However, they also serve as evidence that I can still learn his regret. We got 10 minutes left in the stream, so let's see how far we can get here. It's still Friday. Just as Odette has said, I don't go home once we finish our talk. I stay at the warehouse to get some sleep. Well, you're going to drive another 2 hours? Jeez. It's for the best. I'd get arrested immediately if I were to get caught carrying a gun, and according to her, it's far less risky to move in the morning as opposed to the middle of the night. I can't sleep. It's cold, dark, and lonely here. Alan was kind enough to prepare a blanket for me, but it's still my first time sleeping outdoors like this. I can't adapt to this environment so easily. The humidity doesn't help much either. That said, we're starting early tomorrow. I need to get as much sleep as I can. Let's listen to more people talk in their sleep. That seems to be how we get people's regrets around here. With that in mind, I throw the blanket over my head with a groan. You should get as much sleep as you can, kid. Says the person who's not sleeping. I'm surprised you're worried about me. Hey, you're the key to this whole plan, unfortunately. Don't worry about me, though. I ain't a scrawny brat like you. So much for pulling your punches. It ain't unusual to go a night or two without sleep on a boat. Then again, there are other times when you're so bored out of your skull that sleep's the only option. She keeps talking about boats, yeah. On a boat? Yeah. Take a good hard look. I realized that I've begun to take an interest in her through my inquiry. I was so terrified of her before, but now my impressions changed just after speaking to her for a bit. Oh? This your way of getting info out of me? Hey, you're the one that keeps volunteering the boat. No, that wasn't my... Relax, I get it. You ain't dumb, but you ain't no schemer either. That's the difference between you and Maharu. I draw my eyes off her, prompting her to continue. I'm a woman of the high seas, despite appearances. I think that makes perfect sense, actually. You could call me a shipping agent of sorts, not your run-of-the-mill one. I'd ship anything from letters to illegal goods, so long as the request interests me. Weapons, illegal booze, you name it, even people at times. But the one thing I never dealt with was hard drugs. I just ain't about that. Didn't stop people from coming to me with them, though, but they're sleeping with the fishes now. Heh. I'll assume that's a metaphor. Probably not. She laughs in response. Just hearing about the work she does throws me off yet again. Our perspectives on what is normal must be completely different. Yeah, of course it is. Want another gun? In that sense, I've been completely blind to how people other than myself have gone about their lives. Our good friend over there ain't got no issue sleeping. He seems pretty used to these kind of situations, despite his position. He must have led a pretty wild life up until now. Just goes to show that you can't judge someone till you meet him. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat for tonight. You feeling less tense yet? Chances are you'll wake right up when the sunlight bursts in here later, so rest up while you can. Okay. I actually feel like I understand her even less now. She deals with illegal goods for work, and yet she claims to be anti-drugs. She even tried to help me sleep. Oh, is that going to be something that factors in? Like maybe she lost someone to a drug deal or just overdosing on drugs? Is that going to tie into her regret? I've never met someone as difficult to figure out as her. And that's exactly how she likes it. It does make me think, though. No two people are exactly alike, so that's only natural. We simply don't know others well enough to truly understand them. The first time I met you, he was just a kid full of curiosity and love for Shigetsugu, the man he considered to be his grandfather. There was more to him, though. He was also a member of a terrorist organization before that. He then became the one responsible for Naomi's death, and now he wishes for his death by my hand. I don't know which side of him is the real one. I will soon, though, and I'm sure it'll tie to his regret. I feel my body gradually reaches its limit as I think about all this. Soon enough, I succumb to the temptation of sleep. We're playing as Mao now? Okay, let's see where this takes us here. This will probably lead us to the end of the video. I can't imagine we're going to be sticking with Mao's perspective for very long. Aguma Mao finds herself browsing through her social network while waiting on the train. In doing so, she stumbles across an alarming headline. This is the second time we've played as someone who isn't a participant. For real? She follows the headline to its source right away. This is an article she has to read no matter what. Why is that? A number of bags with suspicious materials within them have been found around Kamiyochu Station. Sounds related to what happened in Naorin. Suspicious materials probably means bombs. Did they manage to catch whoever planted them? Mao isn't familiar with the station itself, but she knows Tokyo Tower is not far from it. So what are those bags doing there? We found a suspicious bag earlier, and that was reported on the news. If these bags are being reported, then the police are probably already all over them, so what's going on? Is this Tokyo thing a false flag to get Rinka to come out that Yu is just using? It's possible the whole thing is a setup. What is this? Mao isn't familiar with the station itself. She knows Tokyo Tower isn't far. She's also aware that merely one station away from it is Kasumagatsagi, home to the majority of the country's cabinet ministry offices. What's more, Roppongi is in the opposite direction. Maybe this is a false flag. Maybe Scale's info is wrong and they're targeting some cabinet ministry offices. Was this an attempted terrorist attack? An attack there would throw all of Japan into a panic, depending on how far the damage extended. Mao typically only pays attention to celebrity news, but even she comprehends the potential danger here. Also, so this isn't the outfit we saw her in before, is it? This is her second casual outfit. Whoa, they still haven't found any suspects? Based on the article, all they found were the bags. Amaka even got a mention. The events at Amaka are widely considered to be the result of terrorist activity now. Reporting an attack on that scale as a mere accident, especially when it claimed a life, is simply impossible. Only a week has passed since then. Yep, literally a week. It's only natural for this new discovery to be linked to what happened there. Hopefully they get caught soon. For Naomi's sake. Wonder if Rini and Miharu saw this already. Might as well link them just to be sure. Oh, both teams are going to find out. Both teams are going to find out. Well, I mean, both teams are perfectly capable of reading the paper, too. Scale probably already knows. Mao pastes a link to the article into their group chat. The very same group chat that once included Naomi. Aw, come on. Why do they never look at their phones when I need them to? I mean, Rink took her phone charger. I'm not sure if where she went has electricity, though. Just as her claim implies, neither have yet to read her message. She truly believes this is a case they should be invested in. Yeah, you guys, why don't you care about this? More than anyone else, they should care about this. Well, maybe more than you think there, Mao. Is it possible our phones are not plugged in? Tokyo Tower, which is where we're going to start the next video. So, I was hoping we'd hit an election, but things are going to go down in a big way before that happens. Next election will probably be next video, or early in the one after that. But what's going to happen here? Are we going to find you? Are we going to accidentally take a life with that handgun because we're not very good with it? Are we going to be able to bluff our way into something with it? Are we going to get Yu's regret? What's going to happen to everyone else? It sounds like both teams are going to be here. Pure chaos. Just as ODDER intended, I'm sure. Well then, we will pick this up next time. Make sure you're following the channel, following on Twitter so you know what's going on, what's up, see me on Twitch, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time.